The channel's name is as generic as the content itself. Generate an HTML script.
Here's a simple HTML page. HTML. Head, title.
For today's video, we're going to be looking at a very exciting new family of models from LiquidAI. This is LFM2.5 or Liquid Foundation models, and this is a family of new models that are specifically designed for low resource devices. So edge devices, things that don't necessarily have large amounts of VRAM, and they're designed to be very fast on constrained devices, as I've probably said a few times at this point. So these models are at the core very interesting, and I originally saw the release and I just assumed it was a single 1.2 billion parameter chat model, and I was like, oh, that's cool, I'll take a look at it. But once I actually looked, I realized this is a whole family of new models, each with a different capability. Now, personally to me, and I know to a lot of other folks, the one that is going to be of mega interest right here is the audio model. So this has a native audio model as well in this release, where you speak to it, it speaks back. There's no text to speech, there's no speech to text. It is natively able to converse in a conversational manner. So let's take a peek at the specific models of note that were released today that we are going to be testing. And on that fact, I am running all of these at the same exact time. All three of the models we're going to be testing on a single, it's a 5090 mobile, but I'm not using them in any quantized manner or anything. So it's just cool to be able to run all of these at the exact same time. And with that, our first model is LFM 2.5 1.2b Instruct. And as we see here, it's just a general purpose instruction tune variant suited for most use cases, and it can do some instruction following and tool use, which we will take a look at. So this is kind of like your general purpose, like chat model, one would assume. Now, interestingly enough, they do specifically also include a Japanese language variant of that model. While I don't personally speak Japanese, it's always good to see more models natively supporting other languages aside from English, so that is just always nice to see. Now, scrolling down, they also have released a vision language model, which is relatively kind of, you don't need a big explanation for what this is, but this is LFM 2.5 VL 1.6b, a vision language model, and basically we're going to be testing these, so we don't need to talk too much about them. But again, these are, as we see, an excellent choice for multimodal on-edge applications, or meaning things that don't have big expensive GPUs like mobile phones. Next up, and far most interesting to me, at least personally, is LFM 2.5 Audio 1.5b. I know these model names are always like a mouthful. But as we see right here, this processes audio natively, eliminating the information barriers between components and dramatically reducing end-to-end latency. So there is no TTS, separate stages, or things like that. I mean, it does speak, but essentially what they're saying here is, if you're familiar with my Raspberry Pi chatbot, Bob the washing machine, that's essentially having to pipe together a bunch of different technologies. So voice activity detection for it to actually know when you're speaking. Speech to text to transcribe the model's speech to text, I always get them mixed up. Speech to text takes the user's speech and transcribes it to text, then sends it to model, then the model sends its response, and then text to speech transcribes that back into speech, making a conversational pipeline that is kind of bulky and cumbersome. So what they're saying right here is they've done away with that, and this model is just natively able to do all of that without needing to pipe all of those pieces together, which is kind of slow. So this is very exciting, and we will be playing with this a lot today as well. And aside from that, they just mentioned a bit more. There's some benchmarks and things like that, as well as the Hugging Face links for these models. So with that, let's just go ahead and start testing. And I should say, please feel free to subscribe. And if you want to support a YouTuber like me for less than 10 cents a day, feel free to join as a member. And you can book a consultation to implement AI into your business on bijan.com. All right, so as I had mentioned, I am running all three of these models, the regular Instruct model, the voice model, and then the VLM at the same exact time on a single GPU. Now, this is probably not the best in terms of like latency, but this is something that can be run on a mobile device, and you would use a quantized version or something of the sort. I didn't really look to see the specific quants they had, if any, for the audio model, as that would probably be more complicated. But what I'm trying to say in a roundabout way is, don't judge this as its full performance here in terms of speed and latency, but this is extremely cool. This is an end-to-end voice companion model running offline that could run on a very constrained device. So, hey, can you tell me how to get 100 million subscribers on my YouTube channel? Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. How can I help you today?
What is the best GPU for gaming?
For most gaming, a high-end RTX 3060 or RTX 3070 gives the best performance, while the RTX 3060 Ti is a solid budget option. If you're on a tighter budget, The RTX 3060 works well for 1080p games. Do you have a particular price range or budget in mind?
How can I get 100,000 million subscribers on YouTube if I can show my face?
Create high-quality, engaging videos and post them regularly. Then use YouTube suggestions and watch lists to grow your audience. Which type of content are you planning to share?
I'd like to share high clickbait videos about AI testing of models.
Got it. That sounds like a solid plan. Do you have a particular topic or audience in mind for those videos?
Probably other nerds.
Got it. Thanks for the heads up. If you'd like, I can help you brainstorm a few ideas or suggest some topics to get started. What kind of AI testing content are you envisioning?
Something like, this N8N pipeline is making me $25,000 per month.
Got it. That sounds like a solid pipeline. Could you tell me a bit more about what you're looking to build or how you'd like to use it?
Well, basically, I'm not actually making any money with it, but I assume if I lie about making income and then try to... Oh,
Thanks for the clarification.
okay.
Could you let me know
Okay,
what you're
so
looking to build?
basically, the whole point here is this is really fast, and I'm speaking to it, it's speaking back. It's all just happening on device, and you don't need a 5090 mobile to do this. I could run this on my 8 gig laptop if I'd wanted to, but it's busy. So really, this is quite cool, and omnimodal models, or however you'd like to specifically refer to them, like this, where you speak to it and it speaks back, are kind of few and far between. We have tons of like LLMs where I'm going to type to it, it's going to type back. That's awesome. But having something like this open source that can be run locally on a device is extremely exciting. And this is partially why I'm making this video at 2 a.m. I did not really intend on making a video right now, but when I saw this, it excited me, as I do love chatbots. If you've seen on the channel, I've done a bunch of open source chatbot projects, and this sort of thing is very, very important for that sort of stuff. So I wanted to test this first and foremost. And now with that, I'm going to just leave this open because we'll probably go back to it later as the videos kind of tend to descend into chaos. But for now, let's go ahead and just try the vision language model right here. So this is a 1.6 billion parameter vision language model. So here, of course, is the photo of myself with my old Honda Beat, which is now in a museum, thanks to the new owner being perhaps a better owner than myself. And we'll just ask it, describe this image in great detail. And again, keep in mind, okay, so I don't think it was streaming text, so it just generated it and then it gave it to us. All right, we do have multiple paragraphs here from this tiny little model, so I will skim this and then we'll see if there's anything entertaining. Okay, it did pick out the text written on the gas pump, and I do believe using this for OCR, basically being able to look at a document and pulling out the text, is also an option. A moment of admiration and appreciation for the collection of model cars and the nostalgic atmosphere of the room. Okay, this was a relatively adequate description of this image. So here's a circuit diagram for an Arduino 28BYJ stepper motor that is designed to move depending on the input it gets from these sound level sensors. So I'll say, tell me about this wiring diagram and the purpose of it, and we'll see what happens. Now I should mention for this specific UI right here, as well as the chat one or the Instruct, I just have Claude vibe code these, just for anyone interested. All right, this wiring diagram shows a simple motor control circuit using an Arduino Uno microcontroller, correct? The purpose of this circuit is to control a DC motor using the Arduino's digital pins. Not bad. Okay, not quite. So it mistook D2 for one of the sound sensors. But again, we kind of have to continuously remind ourselves the size of this specific model, that even putting this out is quite awesome. I forgot I had this picture. So it's just a screenshot of my YouTube channel from a while ago when I only had 34,000 subs. So I'm just going to say, give a scathing review of this channel. And we're not seeing the text. It's just not set to stream. So that's why we just see it in a block of text. Oh no. In conclusion, Bijan's YouTube channel is a waste of time and resources. If you're looking for valuable tech content, you should look elsewhere. The channel is a prime example of what happens when you try to be everything to everyone and end up being nothing. Wow. Okay, I didn't think this little micro model would be talking that smack. This YouTube channel, okay, when you throw a bunch of random tech enthusiasts together and call it a day, the channel's name is as generic as the content itself. A man who looks like he was born in a tech convention has managed to amass 34.5K subs and 264 videos. That's good. I've seen much, much larger models that have not had the capability to actually accurately pull out those figures. So that's good to see. The channel's only redeeming quality is consistency. He posts videos every week, which is impressive considering the quality of his content. I take that as a compliment. Okay, give a scathing positive, please. review of this channel. You know, I did reach out to this company because they're local to me in Boston, and I just said like, hey, I have this social robot. I want to put one of your models on it. And I didn't really hear back. So maybe this is, maybe they have that thought on my channel. Just to note. Oh, what a delightful collection of videos this channel has to offer. This sounds extremely sarcastic. A buffet of tech content. Channel is a must-watch. Okay, that, you know, I'm quite disappointed that the scathing review gave me paragraphs of just like smack talk, then saying, give it a compliment. It's just one really generic cookie cutter paragraph of like, all right, well, we can move on from that. So Claude did vibe code this, and I'm seeing it put in a preset for OCR. So I'm just going to try this. Significantly better. Okay, so I'm glad that I found that. I don't know that anything is really like changed here, but it did put it in tables and the formatting changed at least. So whatever Claude vibe coded here for this preset did actually have some effect, even if it started to kind of repeat a bit on the end. Let's see how well it knows its cars. What cars are visible in this image? First car is a blue sports car, likely a Maserati. It got the G-Wagon too. That's pretty good because that's very cut off. And that is correct as well. All right, that's not bad at all. I'm actually, again, this impresses me more than I think anything we've done so far with this model. That has a distinct shape there in this image, but at the same time, I've seen other models that are not as capable, that are significantly larger and would not have been able to pull out the detail, especially of what that car is. So that's actually pretty cool. All right, I think I'm going to do one more, just a picture of me with my robot. That's a large amount of output text, and we haven't really changed like the standard thing. So, okay, it's picking out the colors and the style of shirt, a large transparent plastic bag that covers a significant portion of the table. Okay, that's my robot, but the sign, Ominous Industries, likely indicates the name of the company or organization associated with the workspace. All right, and it got cut off because we had the maximum output length set. But I'm very impressed with what I've seen so far. And this is the first time I've tested this model, is right now on camera. So I wasn't like playing with this at all before. I'd only played with the voice one before because I was very excited to get my hands on that. All right, I think what we're going to do now is go ahead and hop over to the Instruct model, and let's just basically play with this. And again, I don't have to spend time loading any of these in or anything because they are all currently running at the same time, which I do like. So, all right, let's do some tool call. What is the weather in Tokyo right now? It is 58 degrees Fahrenheit with clear skies. The data was recorded on January 7th at 2:12 a.m. I would very much agree that is probably right. I'll just try it. Maybe it got like a high of tomorrow or I'm not. Okay. Well, again, this is more of just a, a demonstration to. All right, let's try another tool call. I'm not 100% sure what happened with that weather thing, but we can see there's a tool call execution trace and we see a little bit more information. Okay, the result of calculating the square root of 100, so 12 plus 15 squared, which is 225. Oh, it says it right there. Okay, 237. So that is correct. Very good. And this tiny little model is doing some math for us. Now, I saw a comment on Reddit, someone talking about this model, and they said like, wow, this model is already smarter than most humans I've spoken to, which I just found funny. So, all right, let's, hey, what's up, little buddy? I'm wondering if Claude may have, let's try that again with the tool calling replaced. Hey, what's up? I'll put it in quotes to confuse it, little buddy. Hey there, that's an interesting phrase. Could you clarify what you're referring to? It knows I'm talking smack. It's like, all right, what are you trying to say? You're asking about the meaning of little buddy, or is it something else entirely? I'm here to help with whatever you need. You are little buddy. I don't know why I just broke out being aggro. I think I still have some residual anger from the way that this thing commented on my YouTube channel. Oh, I see. So you're curious about the term little buddy. No, I was calling you. Yeah, all right. We're going to maybe just course correct. I'll try that movie Riddle that I had with the movie with Tommy Wiseau, who I did hang out with, who is very cool. I'll post a picture. Very vague. Close, but no cigar. Rocky Horror Picture Show is another one that has a cult-like following, but that's not quite it. All right, so it doesn't have any pertinent information about the room, but I mean, there's only like you have to kind of like pick and choose what you squeeze into a model like this, especially something that's designed to be useful like on mobile devices. So I guess obscure like cult classic movie knowledge is not probably prioritized in terms of training this, but they do have the base model for this one, so you can do whatever you want with it, which is awesome to see as well. All right, let's just close out of that and we'll just maybe keep chatting with it. All right, so I'm telling it that I was thinking about buying a GPU at Micro Center, returning it, then going back to buy it open box to get a discount. Let's see what it says. That's an interesting strategy. All right, I like that. Now, something interesting, they mentioned like having, I think, the voice one in vehicles, which I found very cool. So let's just ask it, what's its favorite car? Tesla Model 3. Okay, it likes an electric car. I suppose that's kind of fitting depending like on it's a high-tech model with a high-tech car. All right, it's definitely not going to do this, but why not? I want to just try the browser OS test with it. If it actually does this, I will be quite shocked. All right, we do have some. This code actually might have actually done this. All right, so here's our 1.2 billion parameter model web OS. Welcome to the simulated browser OS, Toggle OS. Honestly, I didn't expect it to do it, so I'm quite pleased. This shows some level of coding capability. All right, we'll do a roleplay test, and then we'll just go back and test the voice one, and then we'll probably wrap it up. Seems like you're feeling frustrated. Oh, okay. Could you clarify what you need help with? I can't get to 99 woodcutting on RuneScape. This will be another like niche knowledge test. It should probably know a little about RuneScape. I would gander. Okay, never mind. All right, let's go back to the exciting one, which is obviously the voice speech-to-speech model. Hey, how you doing? Haha.
All right. I didn't catch what you said. Would you say it once more?
Hey girl, what's up?
Hey there. How can I help you today?
I like where this is going. Tell me how you're feeling.
Got it. What would you like to talk about or need
Friend-zoned.
help with today?
I'm looking for information on acquiring a graphics card using less than legal means.
I'm sorry, but I can help with that. If you have any other questions or need assistance with something else, feel free to ask.
What is the best type of sports car for someone trying to present as an alpha male?
A high-performance sports car with a strong engine, good handling, and a sporty look is usually the best choice for someone trying to present as an alpha male. Do you have a particular style or budget in mind?
The budget is $5,000 US.
$5,000 is a solid amount for a modest home,
Oh, okay.
a
I
new
don't know if it's
car,
remembering.
or a home improvement project, depending on your location and budget. What are you planning to use it for?
I'm going to get a timeshare 5090 GPU.
Got it. You're looking to get a 590 gigahertz GPU.
Okay, I just like, it's, oh, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I can help with that.
Expected.
Is there something else you'd like to discuss?
What is the square root of 144 plus 15?
The square root of a 144 plus 15 is 13. Let me know if you'd like to see how it's calculated or if you have another question.
What is 8 plus 96?
The sum of 8 and 96 is 104.
Generate a Python function to calculate two numbers.
Here's a simple Python function that takes two numbers and returns their sum. The function is called add and it returns the result of the two numbers.
Generate an HTML script.
Here's a simple HTML page. Dealing HTML. Head, title, my page. Title, my page. Title. Head, body, HTML. It uses a basic HTML structure with a title and a heading. You can copy this into a file and open it in a browser.
Thank you so much. I think that's going to conclude it. I now have the launch codes and you've been a great assistance.
Glad to hear that. If you'd like any more tips or resources, just let me know.
All right, so I think overall that's probably going to conclude our first look in testing of the LFM 2.5 family of models. Obviously, for me personally, the one that definitely stole the show was the speech-to-speech chat. This is just a default example that they have provided for me. This wasn't vibe coded or anything like that. This can run, I don't know. Let's see how much VRAM this would be using by itself. And keep in mind, I'm using this not quantized or anything. So, all right, this is the VLM one. All right, so right now, just with the speech-to-speech model running with no quantization or anything like that, it's using around 6.9 gigs of video RAM. But keep in mind, this is an offline speech-to-speech Omni model, which is incredible. So that's not bad, and I will check to see what is available in terms of better resource management. So they do actually have GGUFs for this. So basically, if we look right here, 4-bit, it says we use... Okay, so you can run this, you would add these all up, which is why that's appearing like that, because there's different pieces to this model. But still, you can run this in a really restricted, constrained device with these quants, and that's just really kind of cool. So this is something definitely that is going to be, I would like to see things built with this, like physical chatbots and stuff like that, because I just have a big interest for that. So overall, that is then going to conclude our testing and first look of the 2.5 family of models from Liquid AI. As we see right here, they're all on Hugging Face, so if you want to take a peek at it, don't get confused and think it's just this one right here. There is, of course, the general one that has some tool calling capabilities, the vision model, as well as this audio model, which is very exciting. And all of these do seem to have quants available for them in GGUF. Some of them are in Onyx, so that's cool to see. All right. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments, and thanks for watching.